Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new video. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Anyways, let's get into today's stories. I remember particularly recording my professor making sexist remarks and getting him fired. I, 26 male, am in my final year of university. I had a professor, Dr. R, who always made weird, borderline inappropriate comments. At first, I thought he was just old-fashioned, but over time, I realized he was blatantly sexist. It started subtly. He would call male students more often and dismiss female students, answers as lucky guesses. But as the semester went on, his comments became worse. He once said in class, women just aren't naturally gifted in logic-based subjects. Another time, when a girl asked a question, he laughed and said, if female students spent less time worrying about their looks and more time studying, maybe they'd get better grades. Whenever we had difficult topics, he'd smirk and say, this might be a little hard for the girls, but don't worry, just smile at your lab partners and they'll help you out. Then one day, he completely crossed the line. A girl in my class wore a tank top because it was hot outside. Nothing inappropriate, just normal summer wear. He paused the lecture and said, wow, dressing like that for extra credit? Bold strategy. Some people laughed awkwardly, but the girl looked mortified. She barely spoke for the rest of the class. That was when I decided to start recording. Over the next few weeks, I captured multiple instances of him making sexist comments. The worst was when he joked that women should focus on easier fields because STEM was too stressful for them. That one really pissed me off because there were multiple girls in the class working hard and he was acting like they didn't belong there. I compiled everything and submitted it anonymously to the University Disciplinary Committee. They launched an investigation and within a month, Dr. R was fired. Now, some of my classmates, mostly the guys, are pissed at me. They say I ruined a man's career over a few jokes and that I should have just ignored him, but a lot of the female students have thanked me, saying they've been uncomfortable in his class for years. So, am I wrong for recording my professor and getting him fired? The professor should have been fired a long time ago. Somebody should have, people should have reported him a long time ago. But at the end of the day, of course, the men are going to get mad. The thing is, when something doesn't bother you or something doesn't have an effect in your, that's like racism. That's like when palm card people are it's just, what do you call it? When they make racist jokes towards black people or anybody else, it's just jokes. It's just this. It's just that. It's not that bad. When something doesn't, negatively impact your life, of course you're going to think, oh, it's just a joke. It's not a big deal. I can just ignore it. Even if it bothers you, I can just ignore it. Why would people ignore that for years? At the end of the day, if this man is this misogynistic and this sexist, he's going to be negatively impacting women in his class's grades. And then actually impact their lives because, what do you call it? If you're getting a certain bad grade in certain classes, then you can graduate. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know what I'm trying to say, right? That's so weird. Wow, misogyny in Big 25 is crazy. Top comment, good for you. That's a gut. Those guys complaining are probably the same ones who laughed along with him. Exactly. They laughed along with him. They kiki. They agree. They hold the same mindset. These jokes and these this certain stereotypes and these certain remarks that are very degrading and disrespectful. That doesn't that doesn't affect their lives personally. So of course they're not gonna care. I don't know. People, anytime certain group of people are getting oppressed, the oppressors are always like, well, it's not that big of a deal. Guys, it's just, no, jokes are not jokes. These people this professor's not joking like this and just going home automatically, just acting normal. These are the type of people that assault people, that harass people, that do disrespectful things to women, that hurt women, that when women get hurt, say, oh, well, you were asking for it probably. You know what I mean? So, I'm glad he got fired. Okay, on to the next story. This story was from 2 years ago. I remember telling my friend that her success is built on handouts and she doesn't get to make comments on other people. I, female 32, have a friend who we'll call Ella. Is it Ella or Ellie? Ellie, female 32. I've known Ellie since we were around 7 and our mothers are good friends. Ellie has had a very, very privileged life. Her dad is a lawyer and her mom is a dentist. So as you can imagine, Ellie had a lot more luxuries and opportunities than your average person. She grew up going to private schools, having private tutors, going on fancy vacations every year, etc. I won't go into too much detail, but I definitely didn't have a life that was anything like Ellie's. Ellie never had to get a job until she went into residency in medical school when she was 26. When we finished high school at 18, Ellie initially went to business school for 2 years before dropping out, then pursuing medical school. Her parents paid all her tuition, all her living expenses, so Ellie never struggled financially and never had to worry about money. Plus, her mother got Ellie volunteering opportunities so she could get references on her medical school applications. Ellie is now a qualified pediatrician. I'm glad she is able to find a career path she enjoys, and I'm proud of her for finishing school. I know medical school is not a walk in the park. I am myself a veterinarian. That's how you say that, right? Veterinarian. Yeah. A few weeks ago, we went to a town event and we bumped into some of my old friends from high school. We chatted for a few minutes and one of them probably mentioned she finished nursing school. When we went to my house after the event, Ellie made a very rude comment about my old friend, saying that I bet she was just too dumb to go to medical school, and went on about how great she is. I told Ellie that she was rude and uncalled for. Ellie said it was the truth. I snapped and told Ellie, you only became a doctor by getting handouts. You don't get to make comments about other people. Ellie started yelling at me and telling me that I'm a jerk for undermining her hard work and that she still has to work hard for where she is now. I told her that I know she still had to work hard, but most people don't even have parents who can pay all their tuition and living expenses, and she had it easier. Ali called me a jerk again and said I'm ignorant and that she still had to work hard. I mean, yeah, but imagine going to medical school all those years and you have to pay for your own bills. You have to pay, for your tuition. You have to do all this. Like, I know a lot of people that work like 3-4 jobs just to pay for classes. And then on top of that, pay for their bills. So, medical school is hard. And getting through that by yourself is hard. You still did the work to get the degree. But you had it easier because you didn't have to worry about the rest of life stuff. Because when you're in school and you have to focus on school, you still have to live because now you're still an adult. Once you hit 18, a lot of times, especially in America, people get kicked out of their houses. So now you have to pay for accommodations. You have to pay for your food. You have to pay for your rides. You have to pay for all this. So when you just get the luxury of just focusing on your school by itself, that is having it easier. That doesn't mean you didn't do the work at medical school. You did the hard work of graduating medical school. It just means that you had it easier because you didn't have to deal with the rest of lifing. You know what I mean? Like, that's really not that hard to comprehend. I don't know what's wrong with OP's friend. I ran for refusing to give my grandparents my late husband's life insurance payout. My 35 female husband passed away suddenly last year, leaving me and our 2 kids, 6 male and 4 female, completely heartbroken. He had a life insurance policy that paid out a significant sum, and while it doesn't make up for our loss, it has given us financial security. A few months ago, my in-laws approached me with a request. They want me to give a portion of the money to my late husband's grandparents, his mom's parents. The reason is that they are struggling financially, and my husband would have wanted to help them. I do feel bad for them, but the thing is that they never really had a strong relationship with us. They didn't even come to our wedding, claiming it was too far. Even though they travel for vacations all the time, they never made much effort to be in our children's lives either. And now they suddenly think they're entitled to the money my husband left for his family, which in mine means our kids and me. My mother-in-law has been calling me selfish, saying they're elderly and struggling, and that I should honor my husband's memory by helping them. But I feel like this money was meant for our children's future. It's not like I'm hoarding it. I've set college funds and I'm ensuring we're stable. So, am I the a-hole? Absolutely, positively not. Like, if they were like good grandparents who were in, these children's lives and they were good, yeah, like you can give them some, like a little bit, to help them because we all go through hard times in life and they are elderly. But you have money for vacation. You never once came to see my kids. You didn't even come to my wedding when you can literally travel all over the place. Why the hell would I give you money that is for my small kids? And 6 and 4, those are little kids. They have their entire life ahead of them. OP needs to be taking care of that money, using it little by little, and getting those kids through life because they have their entire life ahead of them. The hell, if the kids' great grandparents want handouts, then why doesn't OP's mother-in-law give her parents money? Why doesn't she go work and help her mommy and her daddy out? The hell? Top comment, not the a-hole. Your husband's parents are free to help out if they want. You've just gone through a horrible tragedy and are dealing with a lot of uncertainty. You don't know what the future will bring, and you need to provide for your kids first. And then OP said, right, I don't know all the facts about his grandparents and their financial situation, given that they don't really keep in touch that much. But I imagine that if anything, I need to support more now that I'm all alone with 2 young kids to raise. Exactly. Like, oh, well, he would have wanted you to do that. Well, I don't care. He's dead. So, I don't give a damn what he wants. He's literally gone. So, no.